let's talk about money. Everybody loves to talk about money, right? No, not really. But so you find out mom needs to go to short-term rehab. Like, well, who pays for it? I don't know who pays for it. Does Medicare pay for it? Do they pay for everything? I'm clueless here. So just remember, if they are going into a skilled rehab center, Medicare A covers days 1 through 20. Days 21 through 100, Medicare will cover a percentage of, I think 2025, it's 209 a day, and then the supplement will cover the remaining. Normally it's around 20%. I don't know if that's changed. It's been a couple years since I've done it. It's always evolving and changing. So the important thing to remember here is if a loved one goes into therapy, encouraging them as much as they can and telling them that this is a stepping stone to get home will probably encourage them to participate in therapy and get out of bed and do what they call activities of daily living, which could be going to the bathroom, showering, just any type of care. I mean, med management's a big one. Are they able to give their own meds? I mean, when they're in a nursing rehab center, they do pass meds, but you want to make sure that your loved one is able to do these things when they go home, if possible. So they come in, days 1 through 5, they're just going, I'm not going to therapy. Encourage, encourage, encourage. And most likely, they'll realize I'm not getting out of here unless I do my therapy. So they'll go, physical therapy, we laugh, we call it pain and torture. Occupational therapy, people are like, well, I don't work, I don't have to work on my occupation. That's more activities of daily living, like just normal things you do on a daily basis that may be hard for them to do now. So days 1 through 20 is going to be covered. If they participate and they need more therapy, then they'll just have to continue it and they'll have to get authorization, which really isn't a big deal if they're making progress. So that's how that works. Say mom doesn't get better and, we just got to send her to assisted living, or we need like a long-term nursing care. Long-term nursing care is very, very expensive. Medicare does not cover long-term nursing facilities. Chances are they're going to have to apply for Medicaid unless they have a lot of money. So Medicaid will pay a daily rate, but they also require to have their Social Security payment as a supplement, and they get to keep a very small amount of that. But in a nursing home, everything they need should be provided, from anywhere from, depends if they need incontinence products, or they call them chuck pads for their bed, or just even shampoo or soap. I mean, it's going to be generic stuff, and you can always bring what you want in for them. It's all going to be covered, their meals. So you have to look at it that way when they only get to keep a little bit of their Social Security. If they're able to privately pay and they don't qualify for Medicaid and they're going to be there long term, they're just going to have to pay privately. And that can be, depending on where you live, anywhere from maybe 6,000, 7,000 all the way up to 15,000 plus a month. And those are shocking numbers, especially when you go into a nursing home and they're sharing a room with somebody and you're like, my God, they are spending a fortune. What are they getting? The only other option is to do in-home care, but that's going to be probably, if they need it 24/7, 20,000 plus a month. So our population right now, with our aging parents, they saved a lot of money and they have a lot of pride. But the money they saved isn't going to go real far in this day and age. I mean, you look at $1 million, and that's a lot of money, especially to an older person. And you just hope that they live the right amount of time for their money. Because you go, what do I do when mom runs out of money? Well, don't panic. Don't worry yourself about that, because you're just bringing worry into your mind that you can't do anything about. Cross that bridge when you get to it, and if you get to it. So that's how all that works. And if you have questions, please let me know. I mean, that's kind of a real quick overview. Assisted living is typically going to be private pay only. There are some communities that have Medicaid. I don't see very many, but there are some. So if you can find that, great. If mom or dad is on Medicaid, then otherwise, if they don't take Medicaid, then they'll have to go to a nursing home, which is a little bit of a bummer when they don't need a lot of help. And they also have to qualify to go in a nursing home. So it's just this big circle that you just can't ever get to the end of and figure out. So that's going to be private pay, but it's going to be a little less expensive. So assisted living could range anywhere from, I mean, in areas that aren't, you know, big cities, you might find anywhere from $3,000 to $4,000, and that is a low cost for assisted living. But it could go all the way up to $10,000, $15,000 plus. It just depends on the area you live in and what kind of place your parents or loved ones can afford. Independent living is always going to be private pay, but it's going to be a lot more affordable. So those are just different quick little tips on what pays for what. Memory care typically is going to be, if it's in assisted living, it's going to be private pay. If there's a memory care center in a nursing home, then Medicaid will typically cover that if they don't have the private funds to cover that. So I'm sure I've confused you immensely, and I'm sorry about that. So please let me know what specific questions you have, and I will address those. That's an overview that I wanted to give. I hope it makes a little bit of sense, but if it doesn't, you call me out and I'll be sure to explain it in a different way. So thanks for watching.